Okay, I'm live, I think. Is this shit on? I'm here. Fucking froze in. You look outside, it looks like snow, but it's not snow, it's motherfucking ice. It's done froze. Oh, hang on, let me. Oh, hey, Shroom. How you doing today? Mister, I live in Florida, so we don't get weird weather. Bull fucking shit. Y'all got tornadoes and shit today, didn't you? I mean, maybe not where you are, but I mean, they were down there. I was watching the Weather Channel. I hope you're all right. Did nothing happen down there that was too vicious. Hang on, I got the telephone. Okay, I'm back. It was family checking on us. Wanted to talk to mom for a bit. It ain't that fucking cold down there, Shroom. Ain't no fucking way. It's as cold down there as it is up here. Wait, let me check. Oh wait, it's 21 degrees here. Feels like 15 with the wind. Is it that cold down there, Shroom? Is it? It might be. Hell, I don't know. The feel like of 20? Well, yeah, I guess you don't have to. You're going to have to go get your long pants and put them on. Oh, it's been a dry cold here. Shit, I mean, it snowed and then it's froze. And then, I mean, I have to use a humidifier to keep from my nose bleeding from it getting so dry. But luckily, all the ice and shit is staying to the east and hasn't come here yet. Yet. We'll see how it goes. At least I don't have to deal with like the alligators and shit. Oh, well, I'm glad you got over it. I really am. I'm sorry to hear that you caught the coronas. But quit drinking so much, man. I'm just saying. I'm glad you got over it, though. Like I said, I've had my first shot. I haven't got the second one or the booster or the fucking pill or whatever they've come out with now. Oh, shit. I didn't even put the fucking link in the YouTube chat, did I? Okay, hang on. Give me a second. God damn this tablet. I am going to have to set up my computer because fuck this shit. Go to my channel. God damn it. See, at least I do something more interesting than a fucking gaming stream. I mean, I could play fucking Legend of Zelda and have all of you watch, but that'd be boring as fuck. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, hey. How you doing, T? Paste. There it is. See if it lets me stick it. Stick it to the top. That's what she said. She kind of liked that. Well, at least a couple of my exes did. All right, let me pin it. Oh, see, that's why I'm certain I've had the COVID because I had a low grade cough and I'd get a fever and then I'd get cold and then I'd get a fever and then I'd get cold. And well, I've always had a sore throat. It dries out and I'll wake up going until I get something to drink and then I'm fine. Oh, hey, Randolph. You ain't got a wrench? Hang on. Let me remedy that. Boop. Uh, boop. No, that's not what I fucking said, tablet. Now you got a wrench. I think you got a wrench. Shit. Hang on, type something else in the chat and see if you're blue. There you go. Ah, score. Money doesn't make you happy. Feeling that you've accomplished something makes you happy. And that usually doesn't have anything to do with money. Oh, that's okay. Mm. Hey, I could bring it like shoot a moose and bring it. Wouldn't that be as good as cash in Canada? Welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
Pretty good. Cold, cold, and fucking frozen in. But other than
I
that,
agree.
pretty good.
I agree with you. It's cold. That's why I made cabbage and corned beef soup for supper tonight.
Oh well. Hey, there you go.
Cheers for that.
And
Yeah.
it's supposed to get even colder tomorrow night. It's I'm actually under frost warnings tomorrow.
Oh really? Wow.
Yes,
That's rare for Florida. Yeah.
not for this part of Florida.
Oh really? Well, I've got a cousin that lives in Jacksonville, and if you're anywhere around there, they're supposed to be under an ice storm warning or watch or whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm on the other side of the state from Jacksonville, so
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're out in the Panhandle. I forgot. I
yep.
forgot.
But yeah, it's that's what when we're doing the chili tomorrow night for supper.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working
Gonna
on
be
my chili. Yeah.
gonna be a combination of sausage, hamburger, and venison.
Oh, really? Ah, that
Yep.
sounds pretty good.
So, Mr. Richardson, and how are you doing?
You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was just typing something. It took. I couldn't respond right away.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm doing fine. I've been a little tired. I just donated blood yesterday, and they want me to donate platelets. So I saw my family physician finally, and they're after I get a blood test results, then they'll say for sure whether it's okay for me to get it. They're thinking it'll be no problem, but yeah, I play these things safe. Prevention is so much easier.
Oh yes.
Yeah, well, most people don't have any problem with it, so I just want to be sure. The Canadian Blood Services took a sample as well, but there's a lot of demand for platelets right now. It's different than donating blood. What they do is they take your blood they draw blood from you, and then they spin it around so it separates the platelets, and then they give the blood back to you. But they keep the platelets, which doesn't last as long in storage as regular donated blood, and it's needed for patients who are dealing with cancer and other things. So it's very important. It helps to save lives as well. So.
well, good on you. Yeah.
Yeah, Neil, the 604 atheist, has donated a lot more blood than I have, and we used to go together. But he's on anticoagulants because he had a blood clot in his leg. So you can't donate blood when you are on an anticoagulant, or as they're better known as blood thinners. So
Yeah.
he really wants to get back to it, though.
Or if you lived in certain parts of the world like I have, where you're no longer allowed to donate blood or body organs for the rest of your life.
Because they consider it tainted, and that has changed actually in recent years, because they'll take tainted blood now. Blood's classified as tainted because it can still be used for research, and then blood that's not tainted doesn't have to get used for certain types of research. So you may have the option to donate again if your local blood services accepts blood like yours.
Unless it's changed in the last 6 months, 6 months to a year, right?
Oh, you checked 6 months ago. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, about 6-7 months ago I checked.
You have to ask specifically because a lot of the time there's people, the training is still catching up. So.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, I lived in a part of Europe that had a little bit of a problem with mad cow disease.
Yep.
Oh, you.
I think Canadian Blood Services will take that. You just have to talk with them first, and they'll figure it out because they can still use the blood for research. So, yeah, there's the certain places where they're actually using this kind of blood for ongoing research. So, and they already know what the problem is, and it doesn't affect their research, so they're able to use it. So, this is a good thing. And by the way, I like your logo, Shroom.
Wow, thank you. That is my Angry Shroom logo.
Like an exploding atom bomb or something.
Yep.
Yeah, atom bomb explosion.
Yep. Well, a mushroom by any other name.
Yeah, it definitely is a mushroom. The mushroom cloud. It looks really good.
Fair enough. And hey, everybody in chat. Hey, Ox. Hey, Ramen. Hey,
Hello, everyone.
Crypta. Dirt Guy.
Oh, I wish I could see chat. Ramen, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, the link's pinned. She can join if she wants. We can hear her scream at us. I mean, that'd
we
be
had a good
great.
discussion on the book stream this morning.
Oh, did you? I missed it. I was asleep.
Yeah, every Friday, her, me, and Dar get together and we talk about different books.
Darth, you said?
Dar.
Oh,
RVA Dar.
oh, not Darth Dawkins. I was thinking you had a civil conversation with Darth Dawkins.
No, you can't have a civil conversation with that motherfucker.
I've tried many times, at least 6 now. He just gets angrier. Hey, Clockworker actually mentioned earlier when I was still in the text chat about how money doesn't buy happiness. It'll buy temporary happiness, but generally, yeah, you're right. Although money does solve a lot of problems.
Well, I mean,
Money
yeah,
may not be able to buy happiness, but it sure makes surviving sadness a lot easier.
Yeah, that's a good way to
yeah,
yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, not having to pay taxes for the rest of your life and have your mortgage paid off and your kids through university expenses all taken care of is a much easier way to live. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't say you were a psychopath, Ramen. I didn't say that. That didn't come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Ramen, we all love you.
You're welcome to come on anytime to scream at us.
Oh, there. Hey, Ox, how you doing? Okay, now I can see chat.
Yeah, I'm watching it in the StreamYards thing. I'm not watching it on YouTube because it lags. YouTube makes it lag when I'm on both sites. I got to get my new computer set up.
Yeah? You got a new one?
Yeah, it costs like fucking $500. Jesus.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty inexpensive.
Oh, was it dropped to 21?
But the porn spammers are here, I see.
Oh, well, mods, feel free. Ban them.
I already took care of it. You just gave me the moderator stats, so I took care of it.
Oh, yeah. Have at it. Hit them with the wrench.
That's a great metaphor. Yeah, hit them with a wrench. Yeah, I wonder if they can. I wonder if you can hand out sledgehammers too. Although a wrench should be pretty heavy.
Hang on, let me mute up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I have an event coming up on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time or 10 a.m. Central time. I'll be in a it's a Discord stage with 4 others, I think. The topic will be people can come up and try to convince us that a god or a goddess exists. So it'll be about 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to try to live stream it on my channel. because there's some people who can't access Discord or are just don't have accounts or whatever. Just make it more accessible is always a nice thing. I'll have the text chat going.
That should be a semi-interesting discussion.
I'm not
Depending on which way you come down.
I'm not as well versed in philosophy as they are. Yeah, that's the porn spam you're just highlighting, showcasing there. I suggest not showcasing those.
Have you noticed the rise in the Nordic paganism here the last few years?
I kind of noticed it all over. It's a very gentle and minor rise, but it is getting there. And Asatru is probably the most common one. That's the one with Odin and Thor in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've noticed quite an increase over the past, I would say, 8 months to a year.
Specifically in your region?
Particularly here in the United States, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Overall, I see it as not really a major increase, but there's stuff going on. So, yeah, there's more and more people getting into it. I have encountered a few online. I'd say they're in the minority, in a big way, just the minority, not the majority. But there's a few who are trying to divide the atheism demographic, and most of them seem to be fine. I don't notice any kind of problems or anything. They seem like quite nice people.
No problem. They seem to be stealing some from the Wiccans.
Yeah, there's a few of them who are trying to limit the use of the word heathen as meaning just for them, and it is a polysemous word. I don't really use heathen at all to describe atheists, but there are atheists who do that, and we've even got the Talk Heathen call-in show. So I don't see a problem with it. It's just, but they're making a big deal of it, and okay, good luck with that. That's all I can say.
I mean, it just sort of struck me odd. It seemed like out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I started seeing more and more of this Nordic paganism, people coming out as Nordic pagans.
I think part of it too is because you have these superhero movies coming out more that are showing more of this kind of stuff, so more people are starting to look into it. I suspect that's probably the largest influence there that's causing people to look into it. So they see the character Thor, so they look into Thor, and then that leads them to Asatru. So yeah, they're getting into it. Some of them say, hey, I like this better. I'm going to try this religion for a while.
And then you got people like me that I studied it in junior high school, and along with my Greek and Roman and Celtic and Far Eastern myths and mythologies. And religions, and it's like, okay, and how they, it's like, okay, that is just interesting stuff, but none of it ever. But some of these people are really starting to take it serious.
Yeah. Well, it is a full-fledged religion. It's a polytheistic faith. And I've done some research on it, actually. I'll bring up my notes here and tell you kind of some of the stuff I found. Like many years ago.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, many years ago. Go ahead.
I'm just saying I haven't done any looking into it in 30 years.
Yeah, well,
so
Asatru is also known as heathenry. And what I found is like the Asa part, that refers to the deities, and the word and the true portion means faith. So Asatru translates to belief in deities. There are, realistically, it looks like it began about circa 6250 BCE. But there are some who believe and insist that it goes as far back as 38,000 BCE, which would make it the oldest religion in the world if that's the case. It still survives today. But 6250 BCE seems more realistic to me. And then there's some people who think that it's just a bunch of people trying to hobble a religion together out of a bunch of ideas and stories from the past. I think it's more than that. I don't think. I think that's a bit of a cynical view. So there's, including the Vikings and other Norse cultures, and are a big part of it. So their list of deities is. We've got Thor, who's the god of thunder and the son of Odin. Odin is the god of war and husband of Frigg, who is a goddess motherhood and queen of Aesir. And Aesir is a lesser gods of clans. Frey or Freyr is a god of virility and prosperity. Freya or Freyja is a goddess of love and beauty. There's a goddess named Skadi, Skadi. Another goddess named Ostera, and then the list goes on. There's a whole bunch of them. Right? So yeah, Odin and Frigg had a son named Balder, and there's also one called Tyr or Tyr, is a god of law and associated with heroic glory. And there's a bunch of others listed there that I don't have information about yet.
All right.
Yeah. So, and the Great Tree of Yggdrasil. It's spelled
Yggdrasil. It's called Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil. Thank you. Okay. So now I know how to pronounce it. You're the first person to point it out to me. So
the Great Tree of Life.
Yeah. Yeah. The famous tree. So this is all part of all this stuff. So there's but they have their worship. Some of the worship ceremonies apparently include consumption of alcoholic beverages that will conclude in feigning. And the feigning is regarded as an alcoholic sacrifice because it facilitates the unselfish act of sharing one's sober capabilities of rational coherence and physical coordination with the deities. The side effect of deities accepting such a sacrifice is that the worshipper's consequential lack therein, particularly with the more generous sacrifices resulting in longer durations of drunkenness. Now, I don't know about you, but it kind of surprises me that this isn't more popular in engineering departments at universities. Oh, where did our host disappear to?
Good. If he's on his phone, he probably had his cat walk across his phone like mine did.
Oh, that'll do it. I guess we'll find out in a moment. It looks like we're still live. So, but this is kind of a general overview of some of the research I did on Asatru, and the letter A's. Letter A's in Asatru have an accent, an upward moving accent above them. So,
I hit the tablet with my elbow. It kicked.
Sherm was wondering if it's maybe the cat walked across your phone or something.
No, I don't have any more animals. I'm done with animals. I've been taking care of them since I was a kid. Dad's hunting beagles all the way up to my rescue Dotson, who died of a stroke. So I'm done.
Dachshunds are one of the two breeds of dogs that have ever bit me.
Oh, yeah, he tried to bite me several times.
Dachshunds and Pomeranians.
Well, especially after he had his stroke. You could pet him on his head and you could rub him between the shoulders on his back. But if you tried to pet him on his stomach after he had his stroke, he'd try to bite you. So.
Yeah, strokes can really change people and animals.
Mm-hmm. Well, his right front paw curled up and he couldn't use it anymore. And he had went blind like a year before that. So he was just all kinds of out of whack after he had his stroke. So.
Hey, Ox, which beach are you talking about? Seeing seagulls dying and gators having coats on. You got gators up in North Carolina?
Oh yeah, they do. They'll swim up the river.
You know, I'll personally vouch for ramen.
Oh, I know Ryman's good people. She's been on my panel before. She can come on up if she wants to.
No, I got my own share of gators down here where I live. You can keep yours.
You're in Florida?
Yeah, I'm up in the Panhandle.
Okay. Where's the Panhandle?
You know, below Georgia, Alabama.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, that part that cuts across. Yeah.
Like a big handle on the map.
Yeah. You know, the part looks like the grips on a pistol if you hold Florida sideways.
Rox, you can come up if you want to. I might go for an hour, hour and a half. I don't know. How long have we been going? Half an hour. Okay.
When I was a kid, I thought, they should have divided them up into even kind of like a grid, make it look nice and tidy. But now, I like it better this way because people say, it looks like a panhandle and whatnot. Makes it easier to kind of recognize where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Makes the map look more interesting too.
Not only that, but it also helps keeps a reminder to everybody that we are 50 individual states, since we're all look individual. No two states look the same.
Very good. Yes, indeed. Even here in Canada, we don't divide things up evenly as well. It's all each province or territory is a bit different.
I used to go up when I was a kid. Used to go up to the Finger Lakes, do some fishing, fish along the St. Lawrence, get some pike out of there.
StreamYard is telling me, I've never seen this before, that we've got something marked with a star here, a post to discuss later during the show.
Huh?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I haven't never seen that either.
Oh, okay. It's no big deal. It's one of those spammers again.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, basically, if you take the space out and you type it into your web browser, it'll come up to a pornography website.
Oh.
They've been going to different YouTube channels and doing that. The reason
they've been doing that since after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and I don't understand how. Fuck it. I just time them out.
Well, the reason there's no point. Just hide them, block them permanently, because that's all they ever post if they don't get blocked. But because it's run by automated systems that are going around to different channels and doing it. But the reason that they put the space in there before or after the dot is so that YouTube won't automatically filter it, because YouTube will normally not let people post website addresses unless they're a moderator.
Well, yeah, the last one I saw was a .fyi, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's another top-level domain name. So there's two type of TLDs, or top-level domains. Like .com, .net, .org, .edu are probably the ones that are better known from a long time. And so the ones that end with the dot and two letters, those are CC TLDs. Those are country code names. And so those two letters, you can look up the corresponding country code in the ISO tables and find out .ca for Canada, .us for USA, and whatnot, .uk for United Kingdom. And then originally, back in the early 90s, Australia didn't follow suit with the domain name system. They put .oz for Australia, Oz, which was really kind of a cool idea. But they eventually switched over to the ISO standard of .au, and people complained. And then someone pointed out, I remember, the internet community was really small at this time, and they pointed out that stop complaining. .au is the the chemistry symbol for gold. So, but
Fair enough.
.oz would have been fantastic. But that's just how it is. So all the domain names suddenly switched over. So links to .au, to .oz sites all stopped working because of that. But anything that's 3 or more letters after the dot, after the final dot in a domain name, that's your GTLD, a general top-level domain. So .com, .net, .org, .donut, .info, on and on it goes. They're all, or .directory. There's a whole bunch of them out there now. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. And these companies that start this, they'll put a lot of money into it at first in the hopes that many people will register the domain names and they'll make their money back. So, and it is a business model that's working. Because usually a lot of companies,
I mean, as long as it works, whatever works, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
But
open a lot.
Ramen, I'm not saying you're going to come in and start screaming.
Yeah.
I was just picking on you. Damn.
Still today, every domain name that ends with a .com is more valuable than any of the others. It's just,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's the most recognizable and most popular. And it used to be that if somebody typed into their web browser just a word into the address bar, that the web browser would automatically would convert it to www. Whatever that name is you type .com. And so the .com sites were always came up first that way. But a lot of the web browsers don't do that now. They just put you into Google search.
Oh, sure.
And I hate that.
Well, you can usually specify a different search engine if you like, but yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm talking about how no matter how you enter it into the address bar, it automatically goes to to your search engine instead of letting you just type in
the address.
the address.
Oh, that sounds like a problem with your web browser. You might need to clear your history or your cache because there may be something corrupt in there because they're not supposed to do that. Are you using Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge? Because they mess up like that all the time. The other browsers don't, usually.
I usually use Chrome or Safari a lot more than Edge.
Oh, Safari, I don't know. That's kind of... Are they still doing stuff? Because I can't download it for PC anymore. I gave up on it a long time ago.
Maybe that's why I have problems with it.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, Chrome could be. It's right up to date. Firefox, Opera, those three are the best ones you can get right now and the most secure.
Is Opera any good anymore? I know years ago I had problems with it, so I stopped using it.
Opera is fantastic. I still use it.
Because I mean, I keep Firefox on mine for that I use, and of course Chrome, and Edge just because I'm one of them fools. I actually went ahead and made the jump to Windows 11, and so far it seems to be operating pretty stable for me.
Yeah, no, they're Opera, Firefox, and Chrome are very strong at being complying with the standards and conforming to the standards and being consistent on how they display websites. Basically, Firefox is its own has its own engine for rendering a website. Opera used to have their own, but they've since moved to using Chrome. But they kept all their modifications, like keyboard shortcuts and things. They're really good with that sort of thing, which is why I like them. All those keyboard shortcuts are missing from Chrome and Firefox because they're not part of it. And Opera was the first web browser to introduce tabbed browsing, where you could have multiple web pages going in a single window, but in different tabs. And then the others all copied it because it was such a good idea. So there's they're kind of Opera's been kind of an innovator in a lot of things in the web space for web browsers, and the others just copy them all the time. But now they just use Chrome because they're under new management. But the features are still there. It's really good with the bookmark management. They have some feature there called the speed dial, where you can predefine specifically which icons you want to show up in a bunch of squares on a blank page. And that's really nice. And you can make them as groups. You can click on one of them and it opens up to a bunch more. It's just like icons on your Android phone. You can put them together and you have a group comes up. So, but they've been doing that since before Android came along and started doing that. So I'm thinking maybe they invented that with that as well. So, but it's they also have Opera also has a special gaming browser for gamers, and what it lets you do is control how much CPU power and memory each website tab gets. So you can limit it so it doesn't interfere with your game.
How many people? Well, I don't know. If I'm gaming, I normally don't have any websites open.
Well, you might be having it open because you're using StreamYard or something, or some other kind of web-based service to show video and all this, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, a lot of gamers will shut everything down. But with Opera, you can keep your stuff going. You can have a Discord window going in your browser instead of the Discord app, which doesn't let you limit the CPU usage and stuff like that very easily. So, like, it doesn't have that feature. It's something you'd have to go to your OS for. So, yeah, it's it works out quite well. I know a number of gamers who love it because they can keep their browser open in another window and do all this stuff at the same time while they're playing their game without it slowing down their game, which is a really nice feature. It's got some other features that are good for gamers as well, and I forgot what they were because I don't do a whole lot of gaming. So yeah, and they're all free. I like all three of these. They've been nothing short of excellent for my purposes, and my clients will use different browsers for different things. Like I find in the legal industry, there are certain websites that law firms need to use, and the staff have to use different browsers for certain sites because they only work well in certain web browsers. So, but the problem with Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge is it does not conform to the standards. Microsoft does their own thing. And that's why you'll very often see in JavaScript code, there's a special line, a special section here and there making detections for the browser. And if it's a Microsoft one, they'll do something different. Whereas all the others, it's fine. So, yeah, the browser wars from the 90s were, I like the screen view better. The browser wars from the 90s are pretty well over now. Everybody lost. We've got two different standards that web developers have to program for. One is Microsoft's and the other is the open standard that everybody else uses. So thank you, Microsoft, for screwing up the whole world again.
Yeah.
But it was Microsoft when they went in the 90s. Bill Gates said that the internet is just going to be a passing fad, and it turned out not to be the case.
Yeah. Bill Gates also said nobody'd ever need more than 64K of memory too.
Yeah, 640K ought to be enough for anybody. I remember that speech. It was on television. I think it was in the 80s or very early 90s. It would have been in the 80s because of when the Pentium came out. But yeah, 640K, that was back in the DOS days. But Windows 3 Windows 1 didn't really have an issue with it, but Windows 2 started needing more. And Windows 3 really saw a need for more memory. And it pretty much blew that out of the water, because as soon as you have the graphical user interface, you need a bunch of the memory to deal with the graphics. And the programs end up getting a lot more complicated too, because the operating system provides more functionality. So. But yeah, there's some people who claim that Bill Gates never said that. And the problem with 1980s television is a lot of it wasn't being recorded by people like you have today and dumping it on the internet. So there is a lot of stuff missing from archives and whatnot. So that's just how it is.
Now, Ramen, murder hugs are not allowed tonight.
Murder hugs? Who's talking about murder hugs? What's a murder hug?
That's Ramen.
Okay. Yeah.
Ramen gives murder hugs.
And it's amazing how many people are using Opera all around the world. I don't see as much usage here in North America. It seems to be more popular in other countries. So, I think they need to work on their inception to the North American markets.
Yeah, I don't know how old you are. I'm 62. I got my first computer back in 1978.
Yeah, I'm. That sounds about pretty close to when I first got into computers. I started with a Commodore 64. I was a kid.
Yeah, I started with the Trash 80.
So many people call it that. The TRS-80. Yeah.
Yeah, Trash 80 with the cassette tape drive.
Yeah, I had at school. I remember the Commodore PET had built-in cassette drives, and I was fortunate. My dad managed to get some floppy disk drives, 2 of them, for really cheap at a garage sale, where some widow was selling off their exes, their passed away loved ones. Stuff, including Commodore 64 parts, like the floppy drives and things. So I had 2 floppy drives on my Commodore 64, and he bought a box of 1,800 games, all on discs with an index and everything, for about $50. And I had a lot of games to play.
Do you remember the portable Commodore system?
Yeah, I never actually had my hands on one, but I saw pictures of it. Yeah. Did you have one?
Yeah, I had one of those for several years. That was my going TDY computer.
Was it heavy?
Yeah, it wasn't exactly light, and I had 2 drive bays put in it.
Yeah.
Drive 8, drive 9.
Yep. Yeah. You can do some electronic stuff to switch them around. One of the drives.
I just put in toggle drives. Just put in toggle switches.
Yeah, one of the drives we had a toggle switch on it for 8 or 9, and we just left it at 9 all the time. But there were some games that would not work if you had both drives plugged in, because the way they implemented the copy protection was just really stupid. So,
well, that was my Baldur's Gate computer. I played the original TSR D&D games on it.
Yeah, lots of good games. Do you remember Master of Magic?
Vaguely.
Yeah, that was a nice implementation. It was a really well done game. Good music too. Well, the Commodore 64 version was fantastic. I don't know about the TRS-80 version.
Well, when I got back to the States in '84, I went ahead and bought a Commodore.
Okay.
I got rid of the Trash 80 when I was in Germany and bought a Commodore when I got back.
Yeah, it was a friend of mine in elementary school. I went to his home, and we traded some games. And he lived on an Indian reserve, so he said to me, "Yeah, don't walk away from me when we're walking through the street, because it won't be good for you." And we're walking down the street, and some old guy on a porch is yelling, "Hey, what's this white guy doing here?" He's my friend. "Yeah, you can't have white guys on the reserve." He's like, "F off, old man." And that was the end of it. He grumbled something incoherent. So anyway, I remember that experience. And there was, let's see, we traded games, and I got Master of Magic from him, and I helped them to make the copy protection on it, because I had after hours access at school. I taught myself BASIC, and then found that limiting, and taught myself machine language, because the manuals that came with computers that day taught you how to program them. And then I got into breaking copy protection as one of my hobbies. It was fun. So, but a lot of them, all they do is they check to make sure there's a bad sector on the disk, and because when you copy them, the copy programs don't recreate bad sectors. And so, of course, that worked very effectively in most cases. So all you did is you found the code for it, and then you changed it to no operation instructions, or you just made it a jump instead of a conditional jump, and that's it. So wasn't really hard to defeat once you knew what to look for. Some of the code breakers were people who are breaking copy protection. Some of them were really quite talented, and they figure out how to fix certain bugs in some of the games. And that was pretty good. Or they'd add features at the front, so it would say broken by so and so, whatever pseudonym they're using, and they would provide options: unlimited lives, yes or no, and those kinds of features. It was kind of nice. Invincibility was another thing they would add as a feature sometimes.
God mode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did that on Doom.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes you get like 5 or 6 questions at the front for all the different non-standard features you want to modify the game with, and it would go ahead and do it for you and play however you like. So,
I think the first thing they did that on was Baldur's Gate.
oh, okay, that was a popular game.
Way back when, yeah.
Yeah.
Way back when. You could get unlimited lives.
Well, yeah, we used to do all kinds of stupid things back in those days with computers.
It was a big game.
Anymore, I don't even play with that stuff anymore. After let's see, I started to learn ASCII 2 and C++, and I just sort of gave up after that. I had other things to do with my time rather than sitting there trying to break learning coding.
Yeah. It was fun times.
Yeah.
The 80s were good times.
A lot of wild stuff happened back then in computing.
Yeah, we ended up with a whole bunch of digital synthesizers for musicians, and a lot of new music styles came out, and it was just the 80s music was interesting because a lot of them had a bit of a disco vibe to them, but they were branching out into their own styles then. So a lot of good, happy kind of sounding music a lot of the time.
I can remember first time playing a Moot synthesizer. That was back in the early 70s.
Oh,
you remember
really?
those?
No.
The old Moot synthesizers, MOOT, I believe is how they were spelled.
Huh. Yeah, they weren't like the 80s instruments introducing a whole bunch of new types of instruments, though, right?
They sounded, they were the more basic version of them.
Okay, yeah. Early 70s, huh? Wow.
Yeah. They're it was a fun instrument to play around with, but that was about as far. Again, that's about as far as my interest went, was just playing around with it.
Is it Moot or Moog?
May have been Moog.
Moog? Yeah, that's what's coming up for me.
Yeah, that may have been it.
Wow, and they're selling for $3,000 in some places. I guess they're still making them.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So it says here in 2002, Moog regained the right to the company name and relaunched it in Asheville, where he had moved in 1978. Moog died in 2005, but it is now the USA's most successful synth manufacturer, currently employing 81 people. So it got revitalized. What a name, Moog.
Well, okay. Remember what the acronym stands for. Rex, what are you popping tab on?
Beer. What do you think I'm popping tab on?
But back in those times, the early 70s, sometimes people just made up words. They didn't make them acronyms. Or acronyms are kind of weird too. Like we have NORAD, the older ones, the North American. What does NORAD stand for? It's not every letter is a separate word. So let me just North American Aerospace Defense Command.
NORAD.
Yeah. So NOR is for North. A for American. And D for defense. Yeah, it's funny they left some things out too. So the acronyms now are more strictly keeping to one letter per word, it seems, than in the past. Yeah, things have changed.
Is that my cause? Is that me causing that constant beeping? Is that my phone causing that?
It's somebody's Discord.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Discord open. Okay, I'll close that. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm getting ready to end this.
It was mine. I didn't realize it was open.
Oh, it's okay. I don't care. But
Yeah,
yeah, I got to
yeah,
drink a
Rex only
beer and
streams about an
eat
hour.
something and take a nap.
All right. Well, thanks
What
for hosting.
shroom?
I think you usually only stream about an hour to maybe an hour 15.
Yeah, somewhere around there. If it goes
Yeah.
longer, it's because whatever. What something happened. But
It was
yeah.
nice hanging out here and chatting with you guys. I enjoyed this. Thank you. And Sherma, it was really
Oh,
nice.
I appreciate all y'all coming in. I appreciate everybody in the chat.
The audience, yes. Thanks for being here. And Sherma, it was really nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you there, Mr. Richardson.
Y'all shoot your shit.
All right. Well, let's see. I'll be doing my normal stream come Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. My yelling at the sky. I'm already piling up the stuff for that. There's and one piece of good, and by the time Tuesday rolls around, there'll be changes to what I'm going to talk about, but it's all fun and games. It's like I said, it's just me yelling at the sky. If you want to show up and listen to me rant, or if you want to show up and join the show and rant with me or rant at me, you're more than welcome to.
That sounds fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
I'm planning to try to set up a live stream on Sunday, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Central time. That's in the morning, where I'm going to be with a panel of about 4 or 5 other people. Those people are well versed in philosophy. I'm just a beginner, but it's the topic is going to be people can come into the Discord stage that will be hosted from, and try to convince us that a god or a goddess exists. So it's going to be fun. I hope. So they're marketing it to over 50,000 people. I think they told me they're already advertising it too. So hopefully it'll bring in a large enough audience to make things really interesting, because there'll be people who want to come up and try to challenge. And so that is on my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Randolph Richardson. And that's Randolph that ends with the letter F instead of PH, because no matter what autocorrect tells you. And if you want to find out more about my organization, Canadian Atheists, feel free to look at our website at www.canadianatheists.ca. Thank you to everybody in the audience for tuning in. Thank you, Rex. And thank you, Sherma. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you,
Both
sir.
y'all can link your channels in my chat.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm on my phone. I can't post to your chat.
I'll do that before you
shit.
But don't end the stream till I post it.
No, I'm not ending. And anybody in the chat who wants to post a link to their channel and has a wrench, go right ahead. No, I'm not your real ex-husband, Ramen.
Nah, she was yelling at me that when I told her no murder hugs were allowed tonight.
Oh, okay.
Rex or Shroom. If I know Shroom's YouTube address, I could post it in the chat.
If you want to. I thought Shroom had a wrench.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I can't, and I don't have any way of posting while I'm on. And if I try to open up, another screen, it kicks me offline with StreamYards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what this tablet does.
So
computer will fix it.
And well, I was on the phone with my wife in the living room when I got the invite. So yeah.
Oh.
I told her I was going to the back room and talk with y'all while she watched her Hallmark channel in the living room.
I was just going to jokingly ask, she's not still on hold, is she?
Frying
No, see,
pan to the face.
I will sit in the living room with her and listen to my audiobooks while she watches Hallmark Channel. And and that's my way of being in the same room with her and not having to watch Hallmark.
Okay. All right.
Well, I had an ex who loved to watch Friends, and I fucking hated that show. So I watched Friends with her, and she had to watch the X-Files with me. She didn't like that show.
My wife and I both like X-Files. It was an entertaining show, but we never got into Friends. It just didn't appeal to us.
They'd never. No.
I really can't think of any sitcoms on television right now that are really worthwhile watching.
Yeah. MASH had a good run for quite a long time, and that one was pretty good.
Well, MASH wasn't a pure sitcom, though.
Yeah, it was much more in depth. There was much more to it, and they apparently had consultations from real doctors and real military people to try to make things as more accurate. So, of course, Hollywood still puts their touch on things, but
well, Hollywood did what they needed to do to make an interesting show to watch, but it was more than just a slapstick comedy or a comedy show like what you see today. You didn't lose brain cells watching it.
We canceled our TV service quite a few years ago because we just stopped watching it. It's just, we only caught the news. I'd have South Park on in the background. Now there's so many live streams, it's fine. Don't need to worry about any of it.
If I watch anything today, it's diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah, first time we saw Trailer Park Boys, we thought this is a documentary because it kind of looked like it. And then after seeing Julian's glass never going below half and he was still drinking, we thought, okay, this is not a documentary. We figured out before the end of the first episode it's not a documentary, but they sure have that presentation style going. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and separate on out. Y'all have a good evening.
Take care, Shroom. I'm going to
thank you for coming, Shroom.
Thanks for coming out, Ramen. Love you to death. We'll talk at y'all later. Have a good one.
Take care. I guess you want to end this stream.
Yeah, it's been over an hour, so. Thanks for coming, Randolph. I appreciate it.
Oh, it was good talking with you again. I guess I'll just wave while you start the disconnection process.
Well, anytime you want to come back, you see I'm on. You're invited. So.
Just like today. Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. All right. Good night.
All right. Take care. Oh, Jesus.
You're looking for the disconnect button, right?
No, I'm trying to work with this goddamn
tablet.
Fucking tablet. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I got it.
Bye.
Take care. Take care, everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all showing up. I will be back sometime. I don't know.